Welcome back to another dive into the bizarre world of strange laws. We've got even more odd regulations from the past that might make you scratch your head. While the 1970s brought us some peculiar rules, the quirks didn't stop there. From the wacky to the downright confusing, these laws are sure to surprise you. Let's jump right in. Did you know that in some places during the 1980s, chewing gum in public spaces was banned? The reasoning behind this law was simple: to keep public areas clean and avoid sticky situations. Authorities believed that discarded gum was not only an eyesore but also a hygiene issue. Violators could face fines, and the law was strictly enforced in areas where cleanliness was a top priority. In a certain state during the 1990s, owning a giraffe required a special permit. While not your typical pet, a few adventurous souls wanted to keep these towering animals in their backyards. Authorities stepped in, citing safety concerns for both the giraffes and the public. The permit process was rigorous, ensuring that only those with the proper facilities and knowledge could house such exotic creatures. Believe it or not, in the 1980s, a town passed a law that made it illegal to stare at firefighters while they were putting out fires. The logic was that bystanders gawking could be distracting and might hinder the firefighters' efforts. The law aimed to ensure that first responders could do their jobs without unnecessary interference, and anyone caught staring too long could be asked to move along, or even fined. In the 1990s, a town decided that clowns were too creepy to be allowed in public parks. After several complaints about their unsettling presence, a law was passed banning clowns from certain public spaces. This might sound like a joke, but it was enforced, with anyone dressed as a clown being asked to leave the park immediately. You might think feeding ducks is a harmless activity, but in some places during the 1980s, it was against the law. Authorities believed that feeding ducks could lead to overpopulation and dependency on humans for food. The ban aimed to protect the natural balance in local ponds and rivers, ensuring that the duck population didn't get out of control. In the late 1970s, a small town passed a law prohibiting singing while walking down the street. The rationale? Authorities claimed that spontaneous street performances could be disruptive to others and might even cause accidents. The law targeted those who might break into song without warning, and violators could face fines for disturbing the peace. In the early 1990s, a law was passed in a certain city that limited the number of cats a person could own. The concern was that too many cats could lead to unsanitary conditions and noise complaints from neighbors. The limit was set at 4 cats per household, and anyone caught exceeding this number could face penalties or be required to rehome some of their pets. In some places during the 1980s, wearing high heels in certain public spaces was illegal. This law was put in place to prevent injuries and protect public property. The concern was that high heels could cause damage to sidewalks and floors or lead to accidents on uneven surfaces. Women who wore high heels in these areas risked getting fined or being asked to change their shoes. Yes, you read that right. In the 1990s, some towns required ghost hunters to obtain a special license before conducting any paranormal investigations. The law was intended to protect property owners and ensure that any ghost hunting activities were conducted safely and respectfully. Without a license, wannabe Ghostbusters could face fines or even legal action. In the 1970s, a peculiar law made it illegal to sleep in a cheese factory. This strange regulation was meant to ensure hygiene and safety in food production facilities. The idea was that employees might be tempted to take a nap on the job, which could lead to unsanitary conditions. The law was enforced to maintain high standards in the cheese-making process. In certain cities during the 1980s, wearing colorful bandanas was banned. The reason behind this law was to prevent gang activity, as bandanas were often associated with certain gangs. The ban aimed to reduce violence and promote public safety, with violators facing fines or being asked to remove their bandanas. A strange law from the 1990s prohibited wearing sunglasses indoors in some places. Authorities claimed that sunglasses could obscure a person's identity and be used to avoid eye contact, leading to suspicions or misunderstandings. The law targeted those who wore sunglasses in places like banks or government buildings, and violators could be asked to remove them or face penalties. In the 1970s, a few towns passed laws requiring fortune tellers to obtain a license before practicing their craft. The law was meant to protect consumers from fraud and ensure that fortune telling was conducted professionally. Without a license, anyone claiming to see the future could be fined or banned from offering their services. In the 1980s, a law was passed in some cities that banned the use of snakes in public performances. The law aimed to protect both the snakes and the public from potential harm. Street performers who used snakes in their acts had to find other ways to entertain, or they risked getting fined or having their reptiles confiscated. In a few places during the 1990s, whispering in libraries was banned. While it might seem counterintuitive, the law was intended to ensure complete silence in these public spaces. Librarians and patrons alike were expected to communicate through written notes or hand signals. Anyone caught whispering could be asked to leave or face a small fine. A city ordinance from the 1970s made it illegal to eat ice cream while walking on the sidewalk. The reasoning was that dropped ice cream could create sticky messes and attract pests. The law aimed to keep sidewalks clean and prevent accidents, with violators risking a fine if caught enjoying their treat in the wrong place. In the 1980s, a small town decided that grumpiness had no place in public. The law made it illegal to be visibly grumpy or rude in public spaces, with the idea being to promote positivity and kindness. Those caught violating the law could be fined or given a gentle reminder to put on a smile. In one town during the 1990s, it became illegal to walk backwards while eating a hamburger. The law was passed to prevent accidents, as authorities believed that this strange combination of activities could lead to falls or collisions. Anyone caught walking backwards with their burger could be stopped by police and asked to eat their meal in a safer manner. During the 1980s, some places required individuals to obtain a permit before dressing up as Santa Claus. The law was intended to prevent confusion among children and ensure that those donning the red suit were up to the task. Without a permit, aspiring Santas could be fined or asked to change out of their festive attire. In certain towns during the 1990s, it was illegal to walk a duck without a leash. The law aimed to ensure that ducks didn't wander off or cause disturbances in public areas. Duck owners had to keep their feathered friends on a leash at all times, or they risked getting fined for breaking the law. And there you have it, 20 more strange and quirky laws that show just how peculiar the world can be. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating content. Let us know in the comments which law you found the most surprising. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.